This video is from Monday, July 5th, and I'm going to show something here in the Baby Ace that I learned here recently that I thought was pretty cool. But I'm going to talk about a variety of things. I'm just really enjoying this Baby Ace that I bought a few months back and have been flying this spring and summer. It's got a Continental A65 on it, and it also has that you don't notice them quite so much in this view here from the tail wheel, but the main gear tires are the Aero Classic 4-ply 850, and so they're kind of an oversized tire, but they're fairly lightweight. And I learned something interesting about these particular ones. These are actually tubeless, and they're on the Matco wheels that they're a split wheel, but they have a seal between them, so they actually it's a tubeless setup. So which is kind of interesting because I actually have a slow leak in the left one, a really slow leak, but it became noticeable on some takeoffs a while back where the airplane was a little left wing low and pulling to the left a little, and I couldn't understand why. It really had me kind of surprised there for a little bit. Then I finally realized, because I'm only running 8 psi when they're at full pressure, and anyway, a bunch of things here to point out. I'm a no radio guy, so I do a full 360 for sure before takeoff to make sure that I know if there's any other aircraft in the pattern, and there wasn't, as oftentimes is the case here. So also there was a crosswind. It wasn't real strong, about 10 mile an hour, but almost direct crosswind. So I've lined up on the right side of the runway, and I'm picking a point at the left side of the runway, and the airplane comes off the ground pretty quick. So you can get a pretty decent angle across the wide runway and remove some of that crosswind component. So I always find that's kind of fun. So, but anyway, so these the tires, they're just a joy to land with, and pretty interesting that they're tubeless. But I'm gonna have to figure out where this slow leak is coming from. But anyway, I highly recommend the Aero Classic 850s. So this was in the evening, obviously, and here's a hazard of a slow airplane. It's a 5,000 foot runway, and it takes a while just to get to the other end of the runway. So anyway, you'll notice I'm kind of scooting over to the right here because there was going to be some sort of fireworks thing going off near the airport, and there were some people by the road, and they were straight off the end of the runway. So I scooted over a little bit so that I could do a goodwill effort here, waving to the people on the ground. I used to fly a Breezy a lot and ultralight, weight shift ultralight, and I learned for sure that one of the best ways to create goodwill is make sure that you wave to people. They just really tend to get very excited when they realize the pilot is waving at them. So thought I better do that there. So anyway, I'm scooting out around away from the airport here. It was a little bit bumpy down low, so I was going to go up pretty high, which for me is like 1,000 feet AG. And sure enough, it was smooth enough there to do the thing that I want to do. I had done this just the night before, and I messed up with the GoPros, and I didn't have any video from it. So I just went back up this Monday evening to do this. So now I've turned, so I've got the sun off to my right, and so here in a second I would put my right arm up on the door, and this is what I had done the day before. I just stuck my hands up like I was riding a roller coaster, and in the process I noticed a pitch change. And a Baby Ace typically doesn't have a trim tab, but the stick forces are light, so it's not that big a deal. But sure enough, just by putting my hands up high, I was creating enough of a pitching moment to be noticeable. And so I put my arms down low, and it takes all that away. The nose comes back down. And I just thought this was really cool. And all those years of flying a Breezy and an ultralight out in the open like that, I had never perceived this occurring. I even stick both arms out. I get both a little bit of a roll and a yaw moment there so I'm really just controlling the airplane almost like a skydiver, which I've got 110 jumps way back in the day as well. And so I just thought this was fascinating to play around with the airplane and control it simply using my arms. And so that's really the whole point of this video. Now I'm going to show this same scene. There's the old thumbs up there for how much fun that was. I'm going to show this same scene then here in just a second from the tail wheel camera, and you'll see the pitching a little more pronounced there. And I mean, it's not like wild, but honestly, I really didn't think there'd be any noticeable pitch change from my arms being up in the air. And of course, I am putting them out just outside the windshield, so they're truly into the good airflow. But so here we go. From the tail wheel. If you look, the bottom of the fuselage is pretty much right at the horizon. And you won't see my hands when I put them up and out, but you'll notice that here we go. There's some gap now between the horizon and the bottom of the fuselage, and then I'll pull my arms back in, and that'll go away. And in fact, the nose will drop down even further below the horizon. And then I stuck them back out again, and up it comes. And then I think I put my arms down, and you'll see them. Yeah, you can see my arms now when I did that, just reaching down, which counteracts all that. The nose comes back down. And then here in a second, you'll see one of my arms when I got them both out to the left, and you'll see the little bit of roll and yaw that I can get. Yep, there it goes. So just playing around, hands out in the windstream. I just think this is really cool. It's just another reason that I just love this Baby Ace. I think part of it is the airplane is very lightweight, and so it's going to be more susceptible to these type of things. And of course, being open cockpit allows me to easily be able to do it. So anyway, I just thought that was really cool. Hey, this is northern Indiana, and so in the summertime we're very green. We got a lot of lakes around, so it's a pretty nice countryside for flying over. I really enjoy it here in northern Indiana. I also, again, fly no radio, so I'm very diligent about keeping my head on a swivel and really looking around. And I always like to tell people you ought to have a little bit of a burn in your gut for getting run over by another airplane, and that keeps you serious about staying out of the way and keeping an eye for what's around you. As we come around here, then you'll notice that I do overshoot the runway, but that's intentional because, again, I'm lining up several degrees off runway heading to be able to take some of that crosswind out. And the runway end lights are right there, of course, at the end of the runway, and they have a gap in the middle, but I'm over at the edge of the runway, so I had to stay up about 5 or 6 feet to make sure I didn't run into those. And again, these tires seem to do really well even on the hard surface. I really enjoy wheel landings, so we're going to see another one of my wheel landings here. And it's truly a joyful airplane to fly. I've just been really, really happy. And of course, I love the look of these big tires as well. And they would do very well in a rougher, they're not super tender tires, but much better than just having a little small tires on there for sure. So again, it was a beautiful evening. GoPro video looks pretty good, shooting right into the sun there. And got this big runway to operate off of, which don't really need all that runway. But anyway, I'm going to be turning off here in just a second. But I really been very happy with this Baby Ace. I really think everybody ought to have one. It's just a ton of fun, and it's a really good flying airplane. Looks cute. And I call this the Quasi Cub because it's got the Cub paint. So love this little Baby Ace.